Hello again, dear participants. My name is Tina, as you already know. Today I'll be the facilitator of this session. Please be aware that we are recording this session. If anybody of you doesn't want to be recorded, please just say so in the chat and I will pause the recording while you speak. Before we start, I would like to also remind you once again about the format of this session. Each company has exactly 5 minutes for presentation, 4 minutes for Q&A, and 1 minute for our experts to evaluate the company in our online evaluation form that I will share in the chat shortly. Now I would like to give the floor to our experts to quickly introduce themselves, and we will start with Daniela from Inkif Capital. Hello, Daniela.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you all. I'm Daniela, and I'm a senior associate in Inkif Capital. We are a 500 million fund based in Amsterdam, investing both in healthcare and tech, mostly at seed and Series A.
Thank you very much. Now, Guillaume from Omnis Capital.
Yes, hello everybody. I'm Guillaume from Omnis Capital. We are a VC firm based in Paris. We are investing into mostly biotechs, but also medtechs and digital health companies. We invest tickets from 3 to 5 million euros on Series A and seed stages companies. And I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Guillaume. We're happy to have you as well. And now we'll proceed with Bernardo from Investier.
Hello, hi everyone. Sorry for my camera. I have a connection. Yeah, so my name is Bernardo. I work for Verve Ventures. We are a Swiss fund, a deep tech fund investing in European tech companies. Ticket size is 500K to 5 million, and have a portfolio of roughly 120 companies.
Thank you very much. And now Apollonio from Red Alpine.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, my name is Apollonio Huerta. VC fellow at Red Alpine. Red Alpine is an early stage investment firm focusing on seed and Series A investments. Ticket sizes between 500,000 to 7 million, mostly focused on European companies as well. And we're Swiss based, sorry.
No problem. Thank you very much, Apollonio. Now I would like to invite Mary from Courage Ventures Management.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Helleranda. I'm a nutritionist and epidemiologist by background. I'm a partner with the Courage Ventures Management, and we are an early stage investor. We invest in pre-seed up to Series A, based in Helsinki and focusing on digital health companies in the Nordics as well as in the Baltics. Nice to be here with all of you.
Thank you. Now Ferran from Nina Capital.
Yes, hello everybody. I'm Ferran, an associate with Nina Capital, a venture capital firm based in Barcelona, Spain, that invests in healthcare technologies all over Europe, but also in the US and Canada.
Thank you, Ferran. And now Joao from Patina.
Hello, everybody. Very good morning to you.
No, sorry, it's first Joao and then Joan. Sorry about that.
Hello, everybody from Barcelona. I'm happy to be here with all of you. My name is Joan Mercadal. I'm partner in Nana Health Capital. We're a capital risk investor specialized in health, and we are looking for cutting-edge companies, medtech and biopharma. We're investing in Europe and Israel also, with tickets 100 to 300 and follow-ons 3-4 million. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. And now, Joao, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi all, good morning. I am the other Joao in the room, apparently. And I'm based out of Porto in Portugal. So Patina is a venture capital firm with 70 million euros under management. We do mostly Series A investments in digital health across Europe, based out of Portugal, but also in Germany, Finland, and other countries in Europe. So very glad to be here.
Thank you. We're very happy to have you as well. And now Eckhart from Hill Capital.
Yeah, hi, good morning, everybody. Eckhart of Hill Capital partner. We're a 100 million euro fund based in Berlin. We only invest in software-driven healthcare solutions. and in seed and Series A stage, so early stage as well, and looking forward to the session today. Thank you.
Thank you. And now Becca from Demerant.
Good morning. My name is Pekka. I'm a medical doctor by background, and our family office invests in mostly B2B SaaS companies, pre-seed and seed.
Okay, thank you very much, dear experts, for your introductions. We are really happy to have you today with us. And now it's time to give the start of our breakout session. I would like to give the floor to our first presenting company, which is OCP. And I would like to invite Enrico to prepare his slides.
Yep. Okay, thank you. I guess you can see my screen. And
yes, we see it perfectly,
or
and we can hear you.
Okay, great. Good morning, everyone. My name is Enrico, and I am the CEO of OACP. OACP was born to address one of the most crucial issues in the healthcare, that is cancer diagnosis. Almost 18 million cancer people receive diagnosis of cancer every year globally. And most of them need DNA tests to have a better and more precise diagnostic report. Unfortunately, the lack of efficiency of the actual test causing additional cost for patient and system a long time to get the results. And this issue will be, let's say, improved and implemented by the tsunami of diagnostic report that it is expected in the post-pandemic world. To solve this issue, we develop a patented solution that can reduce test time from 3 days to just only 2 hours, while saving up to 50% of the overall test cost. Our patented solution is a proprietary chemical reagents line that apply to the gold standard technology for DNA RNA alteration identification, that it is called in situ hybridization. And labs, but adding 1 drop of our chemicals can reduce, as mentioned, test time 50%, 97%, test cost up to 50%, while maintaining the sensitivity and the specificity of the test. The first application of our reagents that are CE-IVD market yet are in breast cancer, lung, gastric, etc. And we are working to upgrade the pipeline of application. With those products, we address the 1.3 billion global in situ hybridization market, that it is a growing market in which we have competitors way bigger than us, like Abbott and Agilent Technologies, but we are faster, more cost-effective, and labs don't need custom equipment to adopt our technology. As mentioned, our technology has been patented. The patent is granted in Italy, Europe, US, and China, and it is pending in India, and it covers formulation of the reagents and a method, so it can find several additional applications in the DNA RNA industry. We are revenue generating since 2019 with our products that are sold mainly in Europe, in Italy, and in Japan, but we have a distribution network that may cover 17 countries globally, and we signed a couple of partnerships just yesterday for the US. But I mentioned we are in oncology, but unfortunately in 2020, as you know, COVID impacts the oncological market. So it forced us to fasten the entry in the PCR diagnostics together with the in situ hybridization with our first COVID kit. And we use this, let's say, turn it into an opportunity to develop a patent pending PCR platform that can be used to diagnose infectious diseases, including COVID, but can find future application in precision medicine for cancer. And this may unlock us a bigger market opportunity. So our company opened a new business unit. So now we have 2 business units. One is for oncology, one is for infection diseases. And for infection diseases, the first product we put on the market, covered by this patent that it is pending, is the global first rapid PCR test for COVID that in less than 1 hour, in one step, let's say, reaction, allow all labs, medium, small labs, to detect COVID plus variant without need sequencing, basically, the patient material. With a partner, we are now also developing an integrated solution that can automatize and create an informatic platform for actually COVID testing, but also for other infection diseases. We are a team with complementary skills, with an expertise in science and business. We have a huge and important advisory board, and we did great job by increasing our revenues in 2019, 2020, and 2021, being profitable. We expect to grow our revenue stream. This is a forecast for Europe at a slow, and now we are looking for partnership and investment. We are looking for 2 million for 18 months of operation, and thanks for your attention. I'm very happy to reply to your question.
Great, thank you very much, Enrico, for your presentation, for being on time. Now I would like to invite our experts to ask questions. So whoever is ready may begin.
Yes, I have one question.
Great.
If I may.
Yes.
Thank you, Enrico. One question is, can you detail a little bit more the technology and the process to achieve to be so much faster? Would be very appreciable.
Yes, for sure. So just coming back to this slide, basically the process is so our technology is just to start from this is a chemical technology. So we provide labs with the chemical reagents that you can see on the right side of the screen, those vials. Basically, labs continue performing the test as they do normally with the standard procedure, and our chemicals added together with the biomarkers that they are using for in situ hybridization to detect the genetic alteration can actively basically improve the DNA, the patient DNA denaturation and the biomarker matching with the patient DNA. And another compound create a stable environment for the chemical reaction of this matching. So basically we boost the efficiency of the matching with the biomarker with the patient DNA. By increasing this efficiency, obviously the test can be shortened to 2 hours, the total test time. Regarding the cost, it can be reduced because instead of using, let's say, 10 of the biomarker, they can use 3 of the biomarker. So they can save huge cost in the test.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. And do we have any more questions or feedback for Enrico?
Okay. I would quickly like to ask about the client. Who can you describe your clientele? Who they are, pretty much where they are, and a little bit about your ideas for your exit strategy.
Okay, perfect. So our main customers right now are hospitals, mainly in Italy, and distributors, because our model is to abroad, out of Italy is where we have a personal network, is to sell through distributors. So this distributor in Japan, that it is actually the first Japanese distributor for R&D, because we have not the approval for selling in diagnostics landscape in Japan, but all in Europe. For oncology product, for COVID product as well, we are selling mainly in Italy. We sold to the Italian government during the first pandemic wave, and we have open negotiation with the government in Eastern Europe and with the partner in the USA. Regarding our exit strategy, we are thinking that it is mainly also close to the trend. We are working to have an exit through an acquisition. That I guess it is the most possible than having an IPO being in Europe. We are working together to create the base to find the right partner. Actually, we have started the collaboration with a listed company that is an Italian-based company that is starting being active in the healthcare, and this company has a track record of another acquisition in the healthcare to get into the market. So this is the exit strategy. The timeline, let's say the standard VC 5 to 7 years, at least because we are profitable yet. So I guess it is a time that can be reasonable.
Yeah, congratulations for that. Thanks.
Thanks.
Quick question from my end. What percentage of your current revenues are coming from, let's say, the COVID-related side of the business and the oncology-related side?
Yeah, great questions. Thanks. So actually, let's say 90% of the revenue are from COVID. Unfortunately, we are obviously continuing to pushing the oncological product, and also we are working to expand, as mentioned, our infection diseases business unit. We are developing a flu kit, kit for joint prosthetic infection, that it is a huge problem, at least in Europe, together with a faster PCR kit for cancer diagnosis. So obviously now the trend is still COVID, unfortunately, but we are we believe that our core business will remain oncology.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and we have one question from Joan in the chat. If you could please quickly reply to it, Enrico.
Yeah, thank you. What kind of new technologies will compete with you in the future? Do you know when they will arrive?
Thank you. So new technology, as mentioned, we are working with this partner to integrate information IT technology, let's say, that can support our test from the lab and patient point of view. And we are working regarding the lab test or genetic test to try to, to apply our faster oncology diagnostic technology to something like in situ sequencing or PCR itself. Obviously, we have several steps ongoing that to match and to realize this integration, and that is. But please, if you scan the QR code or write down my email, you will have my contact. I will be more than happy to give you more information. Let's say, I know the time is the king right now.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Thank you, Enrico, for your time. And I would like to remind you, dear experts and companies, that you can still book one-to-one meetings in our Tech Tour platform. I will share more information about that at the end of the session. Now, dear experts, you can see in the chat the evaluation form that I shared with you. Please keep it open until the end of the session, because it is the same for all of the companies. And I would like to invite our next presenting company, which is Mainox, and Fatih to prepare his slides. Great, we see your screen. Okay, perfectly. If you're ready, you may begin your presentation.
This one. Good morning, everybody. My name is Fatih Kocabaş. I'm the founder and CEO of Mainox Pharma Technologies. In Mainox, we develop next generation personalized therapeutics to fight cancer. So the cancer currently claims millions of lives every year. So as we have just listened, so there are over 80 million new cases diagnosed with the cancer in the world. This is more than people living in Istanbul. So and unfortunately, 10 million of them are actually lost in every year, and this is more than people living in London. So 1 every 6 deaths are still associated with cancer, and although there are a number of improvements in the treatments, the majority of treatments are still not selective and sufficient, leading to a number of issues, and as well as the losses. So what we have done in the past years, so we have been working on a protein called MEIS protein. So MEIS protein has been shown to be a key inducer of tumorigenesis. When it's overexpressed, especially, it leads to tumorigenesis. And studies show that there are over 10 different cancers with high expression of MEIS proteins. So what we have done in Mainox, we have actually developed first-in-class MACE inhibitors that blocks the interaction of MACE proteins with the DNA, and then as a result, it can block one of the survival mechanisms of cancer, one of the mechanism involving especially metabolism. Sorry, so that it may able to induce cancer death. So in summary, the MACE inhibitors are selectively stops MACE positive cancer growth. It can also induce cancer apoptosis through modulation of metabolic preferences. The studies show that it's selective for MACE positive cancer subtypes and in vitro as well as in vivo animal models. So this technology, the MACE inhibitors, small molecules, which are the key entities, so they have been patented in 44 countries, including US, Japan, Europe, Germany, and India, and so and Russia, and so forth, with the support of the Yeditepe University. So the Mainox will be the first to have actually MACE inhibitors in the targeted therapeutic markets. So the cancer therapeutic markets are distributed among immunocytotoxics, other vaccines, and target therapeutics. So the Mainox will be in this markets, and actually the MACE inhibitors will bring its own the new niche to the market. And the target therapeutic market already is bigger than the chemotherapies. So here you see just the numbers from the US that after 2009 we saw that the target therapy rapidly increased, and which is part of the oncology markets, which is bigger than $123 billion per year. So the treatments of patients based on the MACE positive indication is the key advantage of our technology. So we will only treat the patient with the MACE positive indication. So this is expected to have lower side effects, improve patient satisfaction, improved outcomes, as long as with other features found in the other technologies, including chemotherapies and other targeted small molecules. So as I mentioned, the MACE inhibitors will be a potential personalized market, personalized medicine with its new markets. So this technology has actually is started back in 2010 with discoveries in MACE biology, and then publication in Nature, and then company was established in 2019. So, and since then we have established a number of R&D awards and the funding. So, and also the HOX inhibitor platform, which is a platform that we develop novel compounds. In 2014-15, we expect to have first human studies. So what we are looking for is basically investment and strategic partnership to, about like 2 million euros of investment to expand the company and then perform need validations to bring our products to the first human studies. And our business exit strategy is basically licensing one of the indications, say prostate cancer, to the big pharma after that process. So the company has a lean mode of operation at the moment. I am the founder. I worked in US about 9 years in UCSF, Caltech, and I'm also an Academy of Engineering Fellow and Glasson Fellow. And so the founding team has expertise in vivo studies, in vitro validations, as well as drug markets. So with that, I'd like to just emphasize that we are looking for co-development of MACE platform, as well as to have access to integrated drug discovery and development platforms of big pharma. We need seed investments about 2 million €.
Thank you, Fatih,
okay,
for your presentation. Yes, unfortunately, the time is up, but now we have some time for questions from our experts, so you may elaborate on your presentation. Whoever is ready.
Yes. Thank you for the presentation. Have you assessed the effect of your molecule on healthy cells? And my second question linked to that is MACE expressed by all cells or overexpressed by cancer cells? Which type of cancer cells?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So we looked at the selectivity index. In other words, so how does the MACE inhibitors affect the MACE positive cancer subtypes versus healthy cells or MACE negative cells? We did that analysis. We achieved about 10-fold difference so far. So in other words, the IC50 values are about 2 macromolars for, let's say, a MACE positive cell line versus a healthy cell line, which is about 100 or even more for 100 macromolar. So there is at least 10-fold selectivity, in other words. For the second question, so MACE expression is, yes, in some tissues it's expressed, such as some hematopoietic blood stem cells. But but in our studies, we didn't see any negative effects in those populations. So in terms of percentage of the cancer subtypes, so far what we have seen, at least in 20% of any given cancer subtype, there is MACE overexpression. In leukemia, that number goes up to 65%. That means that the patient population that will be subject to treatment with this therapy will be at least 65% of those patients.
Thank you.
Just for my own clarification, this is an immuno molecule, or this is an immuno drug, or?
This is a small molecule. Yeah, this is not an immuno or
okay, it's a small molecule inhibitor.
Yeah, small molecule.
So going off of the last question, do you have any in vivo data at the moment?
Yes, we have in vivo data in several cancers, so showing that it improves survival capability of the animals. For instance, we tested in prostate, in pancreas cancer, in prostate cancer, we have shown that it improves survival of the animals when it's treated with those compounds. We haven't published that data yet, so I just forget to mention I am actually one of the MACE experts in the world and one of the highly recognized experts in the world. I have publications about 56 articles, and most of them are about MACE biology.
Thank you. I do have one more question. Just could you elaborate a bit more on your discovery platform, the HOX discovery platform?
So MACE proteins are part of HOX protein family. So we have established tools to, first of all, the problem with the transcription factors, it's hard to target them, hard to define, determine, candidate molecules. So we have established that it MACE inhibitors. So we are planning to move into other partners of MACE proteins, such as PBX, HOXA9 proteins. We have already actually established luciferase-based reporter assays. So these are cell-based assays. So what you can do with those assays, you can find lead compounds for those other targeted proteins. And these are already published in like Cell Stem Cell in Nature. Yeah, so we published those reporters already. And we have actually started some discoveries in terms of other HOX proteins such as PBX. We have some candidate molecules for those as well.
Well, thank you very much. And just to go a little bit more on, is this using, let's say, your own proprietary, let's say, reagents, or is this using off-the-shelf reagents for the discovery platform?
Well, off the shelf, the small molecule world is right now, like it describes over 700 million, of different compounds, and let's say 1 million of them are commercially available. We first start with the ones commercially available, and then we do lead optimization of the lead compounds. And in other words, we come up with new chemical entities to make sure we have molecule patenting. So to protect our technology, in other words. So yes, we start with the off-shelf compounds sold by other companies like drug discovery and chemical companies. But then we do lead optimization, improve the quality of compounds, add new chemical entities, and then so that we make sure that our molecule can be patented as a new compound.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Fatih. Directors, if anybody else has questions, please, I encourage you to write them in the chat and Fatih will answer them there, or book one-to-one meetings so you have more time to elaborate and find out about Mainox. Now, in respect with our schedule, we must proceed with our next company, which is Magnostics, and I would like to invite Gio to share his screen. Thank you. Okay, we see it perfectly. Whenever you're ready, you may begin your presentation.
So good morning. What I'd like to tell you about today is a excellent business opportunity, Magnostics. We are a nanotechnology materials company enabling next generation diagnostic technologies. So particularly our area of expertise is production of nanomagnetic reagents, which are used to detect as well as extract reagents or biomarkers in diagnostics and allow doctors to make reliable and cost-effective decisions. The total market size for this product currently is 2.5 billion, and it has seen between a 5 and 10% growth per year over the last 10 years. Our sales capacity is currently 6.5 million, and we hope to ramp that up to approximately 32 million by 2025. We're looking for an investment of 2.6 million to build up our business team, as well as increase our production capacity by a factor of 5. So the pandemic has created an unprecedented demand, step function type of demand for reagents in molecular diagnostics. So we've seen something like a 5 to 10x increase in consumption of these super paramagnetic particles for the extraction of nucleic acids for testing. And this is on top of an already growing trend. We see a significant increase in the use of this type of extraction and detection technology for detection of biomarkers, but also with next generation sequencing coming on. This is a key critical reagent in that area. So we see the just the NGS market to be approximately 10 billion by 2025. So our product is a very well-defined, highly responsive particle. This gives us a capacity to separate materials approximately 3 times faster than the market leaders. And we can actually produce these particles at a lower cost, which allows us to enter a competitive market. And so our product showed on the right-hand side in electron micrographs, very dense, very strong magnetic signature. So this technology is developed through a series of research programs, ultimately the first being funded by NASA. And we have worldwide patent rights on, exclusive patent rights on that IP. Effectively, that allows us to separate rare materials in a very efficient manner. When we look at the total current use of these particles, most of them are being used for in vitro diagnostics. Of that 2.5 billion. There's a significant amount that's also being used for high throughput screening in applications that are associated with not only diagnostics, but maybe food or animal applications or drug discovery. And then there's research and analytics, and ultimately large-scale bioseparation. We have been in business selling these reagent COVID market now for 2 years. We are currently distributing these particles through a contract manufacturing and marketing consortium in the United States. That was our first entrance. We're currently entering the EU market with a CE mark product. So we see our growth rapidly increasing. We're being asked currently to provide larger capacities. People want larger batches. And so that's what we're in the process of scaling up to do right now. Our CEO is Brian Hickey. He has over 30 years of experience in the IVD space. I am a director as well as a research leader, and we have a senior scientist who is leading the team of production manufacturers. So our ask is 2.6 million. We will use this to hire and build our sales team in Europe. We will build out our capacity and secure additional intellectual property that's building out of other programs that are funded through the European Union.
Great, thank you, Jill, for your presentation. Now, dear experts, whoever is ready may begin with the questions. Okay. Do we have any feedback or questions?
Maybe I can start with a question.
Yes.
This is João from Patena. Very interesting presentation, very well presented. Thank you for that. I have a question on the business model. So as I understand, you are greatly improving NGS in general. And I assume, as I understood, that you are following a business model of selling directly or indirectly to research and labs units. Have you considered to be an actual differentiator for the great and big manufacturers and providers of NGS? I mean, could Illumina, for example, be a customer of yours?
So thank you very much for that question. I didn't have time to talk about our go-to-market strategy, obviously. Just to be clear, we are currently selling primarily B2B, okay? So most of our reagents are going directly into kits that are being sold to CLIA laboratories in the United States. And we're currently preparing CE-marked, we have actually a CE-marked manual extraction kit, and we have now a series of automated extraction kits that are coming out in Europe, okay? So we are primarily a B2B company. We also have direct sales of a series of other particles that I didn't talk about. So we also have protein functionalized particles that are used for in vitro diagnostics of other applications. Obviously, what we're talking about here is what you are pointing out. Illumina needs 5 times more beads than we can make right now for their minimum order. So that's where we're trying to go right now. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Please go ahead. Okay, do you have any more questions?
Hi, Tina. I have a question. Congratulations for your presentation. And what traction have you made? Which kind of venture capitalist is interested in your company?
Currently, we actually have been fortunate enough to be funded by high net worth individuals in our social network, professional network, whatever you want to call it. And so actually, this is the first time we're really reaching out into the VC community. We have another deal that's moving through a specific platform that is out of the UK, but we're just starting to look for VC funding right now.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gio, for your time and for your presentation. Now, dear experts, I would like to remind you to evaluate the companies in our online evaluation forum. And I would like to invite our next company, which is Biontaxis, and Anthony to prepare his slides.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Good morning to everybody. I will talk today about.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I am not sharing the screen. Yes. Hold on 1 second. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, it's loading. Okay, we see it.
Okay. How about now?
Yes, it's moving. We see it. Perfect.
Well, thank you again. So Biontaxis is a company that was established in July 2018 as a spin-off biotech company from the Research Institute Germans Josep Pujol in Badalona near Barcelona, and the pharmaceutical company Gentech. As a result of the ataxia research that we have been doing, initiated from 2014. So we have developed a life-changing first-in-class gene therapy. This is what we strongly believe, that can change the paradigm of patients affected with the disease. So let me tell you about the disease. Friedreich's ataxia is a rare inherited neurodegenerative progressive disease that involves child health and aging aspects, and it is caused by a functional deficit of frataxin protein, leading to mitochondrial dysfunction. And this is for life. Symptoms may include severe motor and cardiac deficits, and patients are very rarely confined to a wheelchair. The disease is caused by decreased levels of the mitochondrial protein frataxin, affecting essential functions in the spinal cord, in the brain, the cerebellum, in the heart, in the pancreas, in the liver. And currently, there is no treatment for this disease. Albeit rare, there are more than 12,000 cases of patients, new cases of patients per year in Europe, representing a bargain of over 380 million euros per year to the system. So Biontaxis, we have developed our BTX101, which is the first-in-class efficient therapy for the curative treatment of Friedreich's ataxia. This is the only product that has shown ability of restoring both neurological and cardiac deficits. This is very important to highlight. And Biontaxis has developed this product in a single administration, and there is no chronic treatment. We have shown an excellent distribution, safety and efficacy, achieved by a unique patented combination of DNA sequences that mimic the expression of the frataxin levels of expression. And the patent has been granted already in Europe and is under examination in the rest of the world. The preclinical validation of our product has shown an excellent biodistribution in two different mouse models of the disease, one acute and one chronic, has proven an excellent targeting and distribution in affected cells, mainly the neurons and the cardiomyocytes, but also in cells of the pancreas and the liver. We have been able to restore ataxia, motor coordination, and additional neurological deficits. We have been able to restore and not only prevent, to restore the neurophysiological properties of sensory neurons in two different mouse models. We are able to preserve the axon size and the myelin, the mitochondrial function in the dorsal root ganglia. And we are able to preserve the cardiomyopathy. We have shown that we can abolish iron accumulation in mitochondria of cardiomyocytes. And very importantly, the treatment has proven to be safe and long-term effective. So basically, in our we have identified an important market, calculating a 500-day single-dose treatment. We have estimated that are very important revenues. So this is an important market for the product. In contrast to the competition, we have a tough competition, obviously. As I said, we are able to create both neurological and cardiac deficits. And considering an incidence of 2.8 cases in 100,000 individuals, we have estimated our treatment could reach 8,900 patients worldwide. BioNTaxis focuses exclusively on phage ataxia right now. We have a protected patent for 20 years. We have obtained outstanding preclinical data, and this is the only solution that is able to provide the right levels of expression. Okay. Hold on one second, this is not now. To develop BioTX-101 under GMP conditions, we plan to require for clinical compliance. We plan to test clinically in phase 1b/2a. So we have estimated a development plan of 40 million funding needs over the next 4 years. This could use for the preclinical validation in large animals, regulatory and clinical manufacturing compliance, and the clinical study. Our B2B business plan would be out licensing to pharma in 2025. Approx one clinical phase is completed for further development. And with our partner, we would collaborate. We would validate this product in phase 3 study. Our exit strategy consists of a B2B model with a trade safety. This is an estimated number of 150 million and the revenues for licensing to pharma in 2025, once clinical validation is successfully completed. We have gathered an excellent team of experts on gene therapy, molecular neuroscience, and very importantly, on business development. We are supported by an external committee of excellent scientific and business experts. And in 2021, we have just closed a seed round of investment of 1 million euros. We incorporate into VCs to our company, which are providing very valuable expertise on investment. We are already preparing a large round A of investment in order to grow and with more staff like a CMO, project manager, clinical coordinator managers, CROs, etc. in the next year. And this is all I want to tell you today. So thank you very much for your attention.
Great, thank you very much for your presentation. Now we have a few minutes for questions. So whoever is ready, your experts, you may begin.
Yeah. Hi, Anthony. I wanted to ask you whether you could elaborate a bit more on the competition side. Maybe are there other players, developing this preclinical, clinical, and where do you stand?
Yes, yes, we have competition. Obviously, we have identified 2 companies who say that they are developing a similar gene therapy product than ours. However, the main difference to us is that they only provide treatment for heart disease. They don't target neurological disease. Our product targets both because we have been able to demonstrate that we're able to restore the neurological deficits and also the cardiac deficits. For instance, Lexio, which is a biotech company, working on basically on cardiomyopathies. So they are using a similar approach on gene therapy based on AAV for targeted only heart disease. And we know that Novartis says that it's also working on a similar product. They use a different regulatory sequence, obviously, because ours is patented, and their promotional region, the regulatory regions, they provide tons of expression, tons in, which is an exaggerated form to say it, but a lot of expression of frataxin protein. And it is very well known that overexpression of frataxin protein is toxic to neurons. So they basically need to change their regulatory sequences, so they are working on different products. We are not aware. I'm not aware of any other companies because Bayer, for instance, has stopped working on phage ataxia. And then non-gene therapy approaches, for instance, like Minorix is working on antioxidants, which obviously are able to their drug, the direct is cardiac.
I will do by text, by WhatsApp, okay? So you may not see the message.
Looks like Joe is not muted, but I fixed that, sorry. Okay, I think we have time for maybe one more question if anybody has.
Yeah, if I may, thanks, Anthony, for the presentation. Can you talk a little bit more about the optimization you've done on the AAV so that it could reach the tissues of interest, which I'm assuming are both brain and heart?
we have been working on the way of administration, which is critical because we know that intravenous administration doesn't reach the CNS in adult people, and this is the disease is diagnosed early in infancy, mostly in young adults. So basically, by an administration dose, peripheral administration dose wouldn't reach the CNS. So we have been working intrathecally. So this is an intrathecal administration, and basically we know that when we provide the recombinant vector through the spinal cord at the lumbar level, when the dorsal root ganglion neurons start to degenerate, from inside the CNS, the cerebrospinal fluid can go outside, but not in, it's only one way of communication. So basically it reaches very well the heart and the liver because we have excellent data, and that has been proven also in non-human primates. So we know that that is the case. And we have been working very carefully with the levels of expression. We have chosen very carefully the DNA sequences regulating the levels of expression of frataxin, using post-transcriptional regulation and also using the right promoter. It's a PGK promoter, constitutive, metabolically regulated, responses to iron. And this is something that we have and our competitors don't. So really we think that our vector is by far much better.
Wonderful.
And the results are spectacular. You know, we have videos showing really not only preventing but also restoration.
Great. Thank you very much, Anthony, for your time and for your presentation, and thank you, your experts, for your questions. Now I would like to remind you to evaluate value in taxes in our online evaluation forum, and I would like to invite Leire from Eversense to share her presentation. Okay, we see your screen.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we see it. Maybe you can make it on presentation mode.
Yes, I'm doing
Wonderful.
it right. Okay, so thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. I am Leire Ruete, CEO of Eversense. We empower personalized healthcare using portable breath analysis technology. Today, I'm here to talk to you about one of the biggest health concerns in the coming years, asthma. And to show you the magnitude of the problem, I have a question for you. Who doesn't know someone with asthma? And I'm pretty sure that all of you know one, because 2 out of 10 people in this world suffer from asthma, and it is the most prevalent chronic disease in childhood. Today, the standard of care is based on highly biased symptom questionnaires, missing the 50% of respiratory crises. This is behind the poor outcomes in asthma control, which translates in 70% of patients having uncontrolled asthma. This lack of information for clinicians leads to a 50% of underdiagnosis and a 30% of misdiagnosis. Direct annual cost exceeds 50 billion euros just in Europe. As for diabetes, the key aspect to keep the disease under control is to have objective information about the health status. By measuring Excel biomarkers with our patent-protected Evernoa system, we obtain a deep insight in your respiratory health wherever the patient is. And so using Evernoa, uncontrolled patients can be reduced by up to 31%. The information collected is instantly available for clinicians to support decision-making based on objective clinical information to confirm diagnosis, but also to monitor the evolution of the disease over the time. We can reduce underdiagnosis by up to 20% and misdiagnosis by up to 8%. Affordable and easy to use home monitoring tools doesn't exist currently. The tools existing are point-of-care devices incapable of being used at home because of their price and size. And there are some apps, but none of them have predictive capabilities. Behind this project, there is a team that has been working for more than 12 years. We have more than 50 years of experience in the medtech field. We know how to develop a medical device from scratch, complete the regulatory process and reach the market successfully. We launched our first product in 2019, which is currently marketed in European Union, Switzerland, and Turkey. And we are currently negotiating a partnership with a respiratory leader to enter in the US. We launched our second product in 2022, and leveraging on our knowledge, we will accelerate the market access process. Since 2016, 3 VC funds have supported the company with 1 million euros. Additionally, we have obtained several public grants, and as for example, the European Commission and also the EIT Health. And recently, we have been selected as one of the most promising deep tech companies in the world, and we will be at the Hello Tomorrow Summit next week in Paris. The market is constantly growing due to the increasing prevalence. The estimated market size for breath analysis is 600 euros. And following our business plan, we will reach a total sales revenue of 25 million in 2025. Our business model is a B2B or B2B2C software and hardware as a service. We design and manufacture our devices in our certified facilities, and we sell these devices directly to hospitals or by our distributor network. Our users are professionals or patients requiring remote monitoring. We are looking for 2.8 million euros by the middle of 2022 to go as faster as we can to maximize the impact of our competitive advantage. Our current partners will invest 1 million in this round. So we are seeking for 1 point, finishing Ever's no assistant, increase our production capabilities, the IP management, market access, and to position Evernote system on the market. So thank you so much for your attention. And if you need any further clarification, I will be delighted to answer your questions. And it's Anne, which is my colleague, is going to join us in this Q&A round. You can see her because we are
wonderful. Thank you very much for the presentation. And now we have 4 minutes for questions. So dear experts, feel free to start.
Maybe I can.
Yes.
Go ahead with a question. Thank you, Leila. Very interesting. Can you elaborate a little bit more on your competitive advantage and on your competitors? This is a space that is pretty well covered. How do you defend yourselves, and how do you distinguish yourselves from a big company nowadays like Propeller Health that is pretty much in the same space? Thank you.
Yes, I know, but Propeller, thanks so much for the question. Propeller, they have an app that monitor the treatment adherence based on the use of the device. I mean, of the device used to obtain the specific treatment, but they are not monitoring the evolution of the patient over the time. I mean, they are not providing an objective indicator of the evolution of inflammation, which is one of the main aspects of the disease. I mean, some patients don't take the medication. They can use some techniques to, to avoid being registered correctly with Propeller application, because they are not monitoring an objective parameter of health. They are monitoring the using of a device. Additionally, they have some questionnaires, but in asthma, there are a low correlation between symptoms and the evolution of the disease, and symptoms don't predict crisis. So their application has some limits. So maybe we are complementary. We are not competitors. I mean, we provide different aspects of the same our solution. We will have a more powerful tool for managing these patients. And it is the same, for example, with spirometry. We are not competitor of the spirometers. I mean for remote monitor spirometry, because we provide a different aspect of the disease. So the reality is that for providing a holistic approach and a global solution for your patients, you need more information. So our system, in fact, includes other devices than our own devices, which are Evernoa, are the devices that we develop, we design, and we manufacture, but our system also has other devices included.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any more questions? Maybe we have time for one more. If anybody wants to ask something?
Yeah, just a quick question from my side. How do you see this product being integrated into the normal, let's say, path of care from doctor to patient?
Okay, so we are currently working.
It seems that Lire froze.
In two ways. The first one, yes?
Lire, you're freezing a bit. Your internet connection maybe is not that good, so maybe you can repeat the answer.
Okay, so I'm. Sorry. Okay. I'm not going to share my screen because maybe I'm freezing because of that. Okay, so the thing is, we have two different strategies. We are working with primary care general practitioners because the 80% of asthmatic are treated and managed in primary care, which currently don't have any tool, any objective tool to diagnose this specific disease. And it's very, very tricky question because the huge underdiagnosis percentage is linked to the talking with pharmaceutical companies to introduce these devices at pharmacies. And we are negotiating an agreement with a big pharma company here in Spain. So this is our approach. We think that, first of all, these devices will must be in primary care and at pharmacies, and then they will reach the patient, as it was, you maybe know the diabetes business model. I mean the pathway.
Lire, you froze again.
That they have followed, and it will be the same. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yes, I can do anything with this because.
Yes, maybe if you want to elaborate more, you can write in the chat the answer. Thank you for your presentation and for your time. Now, dear experts, I would like to remind you about our evaluation form and that you have to evaluate every sense as well. And I would like to invite our next company, which is FiberSpin. And Eyal, you can share your screen whenever you feel ready.
Hello, everyone. I'm trying to share my screen with you. Can you hear me well?
We can hear you very well. Just a quick reminder for you, because you joined a bit later, that you have 5 minutes for presentation, 4 minutes for Q&A. Whenever you're ready, I will start the timer.
I'm ready, thank you. I'm going to talk about FiberSpin. FiberSpin is a wound management company. We are focused on a novel self-fixation hernia mesh with no chronic pain and faster recovery and wound healing. Hernia repair is obstruction of the internal organs, as you can see in the picture. The main solution is put in a hernia mesh to close this wound and fixate this mesh using tacks or sutures. As you can see, the main problem with this hernia repair surgery, that most of the patients have a lot of pain, and not only acute pain, but chronic pain daily and morning, and they actually suffer from it. About 20% of them will suffer from it. As you can see, a large amount of the population suffers from hernia, and this market is pretty big, 3.5 billion around the world, and we are looking about an addressable market of 24 million in the US, and in Europe 46 million. As I said, the main problem is pain and caused by the fixation method. As you can see in the picture, there are tacks which made of stainless steel or maybe absorbable materials, but the surgeons have to use a lot of them to fixate the mesh. And this leads many of them to try to minimize the use of those tacks because of the pain. 25% of the European surgeons no longer even use fixation for a specific type of hernia. As you can see, the main transition of fixation from today, which is the tacks and sutures, are going to eliminate the use of tackers and using more glue. You can use biological glue, which is expensive, like fibrinogen, or maybe you can use synthetic glue like cyanoacrylate. But those glues, they have a lot of problems because they are poor adherence of the hernia mesh using this in wet environment, and this is liquids, very challenging for the surgeons to use them. Some of them, especially the biologics, are very expensive, and you have a poor wound healing. So our solution is to have this fiber mesh, which is a dry glue, which eliminates the use of any additional glue or any tacks or anything like that. You don't have to mix anything, and the procedure is pretty fast. You just take this hernia mesh and put this on the place you would like to fixate. We are using electrospinning technology, as you can see the nanofibers on your right, and this improves the wound healing and the scaffold, which is the scaffold for the tissues to integrate and improve the recovery of the patients. We already done a lot of safe and effective studies in vitro and in vivo. As you can see, we found much better results, even better than the standard of cyanoacrylate, which is the strongest glue in the market. This is for our studies. Our value proposition is mainly for the patients to improve the condition after the surgery, reduce the amount of pain and other complications. As you can see, this is not only a matter of the cost of the fixation, but also the cost of being in the operation room. This procedure is pretty fast instead of using 15 tacks, which is a long procedure, and even using sutures. The complications is much smaller because we do not expect to have the pain and other recurrency of the hernia because of the pain. You can see that we have a huge impact if we can eliminate the use of the traditional fixation methods. So our main competitive advantage compared to use synthetic mesh with biological or tacks is that we have the self-fixation, we promote the tissue ingrowth, and all of this will lead to better clinical results and return on investment. So our going to the market strategy is to have a strategic partnership or license agreement with one of the biggest players on your right. As you can see, on average, companies that develop adhesives for medical use, merger and acquisition, the price is about $150 million. So we are right now seeking for 2 million euros for clinical trials. We projected to use these proceeds for scale up the company, to have good regulatory submission for the FDA, CE mark, and start our clinical trial in a big center. So we are before phase 1, we're preparing for phase 1, and we expect the next phases will be having a Series A investment for phase 2. And after phase 2, as I mentioned, to discuss with the strategic partners about a partnership or license agreement. Otherwise, we will continue to the IPO process and go to the market. To summarize, fiber mesh is a must-have answer to minimize today's hernia repair complications, mainly pain and recurrency. We have millions of hernia surgeries, and this is billions of dollars clinical cost. We have a clear regulatory and reimbursement path. We have IP proprietary and wholly owned technology. We already got investments from the Israeli Authority of Innovation and private fundings of about €500,000. The goal of funding is 3 million, and we need this for scale up of the company and commence clinical studies. And our market window will be 3 to 4 years with returns of investments of 40. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eyal, for your presentation. Now we have a few minutes for questions. So if anybody is ready. Do we have any questions or feedback, dear experts? Okay, then thank you, Eyal, for your time and for your presentation.
Thank you.
Now, dear experts, you have 1 minute to evaluate FiberSpin in our online evaluation form. And in the meantime, I would like to invite our last presenting company, which is MoExplore, and Leonardo to share his slides.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful, we see it perfectly. We will begin very shortly just to give some time to our experts. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, if you feel ready, we may begin your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Could you imagine drastically reducing the number of visits to diagnose skin cancer? Hello, my name is Leo, and I am the founder and CEO of MoExplore, a Spanish startup that created a solution for the early diagnosis of skin cancer. It is known that 1 in every 3 cancers is, in fact, skin cancer. But fortunately, and compared to other types of cancers, 98% of them are curable if they are diagnosed on time. However, skin cancer's incidence is growing as the population is also growing. The problem is that there are not enough professionals to attend the patients. The COVID crisis has shown us this future. There is an estimate telling us that roughly the 20% of melanomas that would be normally detected on an early stage has gone undiagnosed in the last year due to the overstress of the health systems. To cover this need, we built a solution to accelerate these diagnoses everywhere. So we are talking about saving lives, but also money, as undiagnosed melanoma economic costs grow from a few €100 if detected in the early stages to more than 100,000 euros, and a significant decrease in the 5-year survival rate if not detected. Nowadays, a patient has to go through several doctors and dermatologists, pay for private services, and be on long waiting lists before being visited by a melanoma oncologist. A long journey that can take more than a year in some cases. Our proposal is built around an intelligent portable device. It combines interoperable teledermatology software, an artificial intelligence system called Big Derma, and a unique dermatoscope called Matith. Most patients will get their diagnosis in only a few days, while the super specialized physicians will be able to focus on the worst cases. Matith aims to be the stethoscope of the skin present in every medical environment. To build Matith, we made use of cutting-edge technology based on the latest research advances. Multispectral light can obtain images that escape to the human eye and are vital for an early diagnosis. It has been recently demonstrated to be very, very useful. The latest additive manufacturing technologies for a lean manufacturing process allows us to evolve rapidly where others can't. And finally, artificial intelligence can easily classify these images and as accurately as a trained doctor and launch alerts if needed. Thanks to this evolution of science, we now have this first pilot of the cheapest, smallest, and smartest multispectral dermatoscope on the market. Currently on the market, there are already several dermatoscopes, but none of them sorry, uses the science behind Matif. They are not even digital in most cases. Matif is an easy-to-use dermatoscope that incorporates all the capabilities of the products already on the market, but also a unique set of features, both hardware and software, to help on the diagnosis, empowering non-specialists and freeing super specialists while gathering unseen information for future studies, and also reducing the process in time and cost. We have been able to get here thanks to a committee team of 11 people with a special sensibility to cancer diseases. Starting from me, I have a mutation, a genetic mutation that predisposes me and my family to suffer from skin cancer, and I am a patient. And ending with Carlos, Miguel, Enrique, and Eva, each of one of them specialists in each of the previous names specific advances. Scientific advances, sorry. We also have collaboration contracts with universities. Sorry, it's not working. All right. With universities as well with several medical centers for cancer detection. We all know that the market is big, with an estimated compound annual rate of almost 14% only in the dermatoscope market, and it's going to be roughly 1.7 billion by 2025. Sales of dermatoscope and other medical devices will grow in the coming years. And at this moment, we are only exclusively targeting the medical health professional market on a strict B2B approach. But there is a bright future. Imagine cosmetic, aesthetics, B2C, B2C, etc. The scalability and growth possibilities are immense. Now we need to go a step further to get all medical certifications and start commercialization. After getting the investment needed, we have a go-to-market strategy that is flexible and adaptive as we succeed in reaching our goals. It is based on three key points: sales of the devices themselves, the sales of services and our sales system, and exploiting the big data gathered. To reach that point, we have already contacted several Spanish distributors as well as European investors. We now seek 0.7 million, around half of that is to get the certification and continue R&D, and the rest for marketing and business development. Our next big milestone is to get certified and start selling devices and intelligent integrations with dermatology centers and nursing homes, because the nursing homes is the niche we have detected to be our first big pilot. Our forecast indicates that in a 4-year period, the IRR will be around 23%, and the net profitable value around 0.8 million. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Leo, for your presentation. Now, dear experts, if you have questions, please go ahead.
Yeah, I have one question, Leonardo. Thank you. I would like to more understand what is the target you want. What is the patient profile? Is it patients which don't have any cancer and want to know if they have, so they will take the dermatoscope and put it everywhere on the screen? I don't understand.
Okay, sorry. The thing is, we started trying to help people with melanoma, on patients of melanoma like myself, but we find out that there's a huge need of taking the expertise of those medical experts down to primary general practitioners. So our users will be those medical practitioners, those primary medical practitioners, sorry, and maybe also pharmaceutics that will do both things. One is do the follow-ups on the skin lesions that the dermatologist has seen before and has concern for them, and also all the new ones. The device will help the doctors get good pictures, and the SAS will help them compare with other previous cases. So this in turn will help them detect better and avoid sending non-needed patients to the super specialized people, because they will have this information. And also, if they have the need, they will be able to ask for a medical advice from those specialized experts without the need to send the patient over.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and we have a question from Juan.
Yeah, thank you. How strong is your patent? And the second question is, will you grow faster with more money?
Okay, how strong is our pattern? We still don't have the patent because it's quite difficult in the software related area, but we have a very strong barrier of entering a barrier, let's say, because once we have this big data, this big data is not easy to develop and to gather, let's say, and that is a barrier for the other companies to enter in itself. And in the IP field, we are working also with a grant from the European Commission to get as much protected as we can, because we have an embedded device, and that can be under IP protection. And you said if we can grow faster, of course we can grow faster, because we would be able to certify on United States and establish there and start selling there much faster. That's something we have delayed on our timeline, because we are not asking for 2 million or 3. We are trying to get the certification here and go step by step. Yeah, you are muted. No.
Thank you.
Thank you, Johan. Thank you.
Great. Do we have any more questions? Okay, then thank you, Leo, for your presentation.
You're welcome.
Dear experts, just a quick reminder to finish your evaluation forms. And now, dear participants, that was all for today. We hope our breakout session was interesting and useful for you. All companies will soon receive via email their evaluation results plus video recording of their pitch. Now we kindly ask you to complete our feedback survey that you see in the chat. And also we would like to remind you about one-to-one meetings option starting that already started actually, and it will continue until 26th of November on the whole day. You can still pre-book your one-to-one meetings via TechTour community platform. You can also check the video instructions that I shared in the chat along with the feedback survey. Thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you a nice day and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.